Hi, my name is Tom Browningle with Keller Williams Realty and the Browningle team.
Ryan Browningle.
And thanks so much for joining us. We're actually going to go through the 7 most important things as a seller that you should do before you list your home for sale.
Awesome.
Okay?
And so what's number 1?
Yeah, good. So really number 1 is to figure out the finances on the sale of your home. Is there going to be a profit? Are you going to have to come to the table with money? And really understand what your expenses are as a result of selling your home.
And Tom, what are some of those expenses that a seller can expect?
Yeah, good. So what we do is we put together a net sheet for all of our clients. What this is a list of realistic expectations of what we can sell your home for. Okay, and from that we begin subtracting your expenses such as commission. Right, so you're going to pay a commission, you're going to pay conveyance fees, both to the town that you live in, and the state, right? You're going to certainly pay, attorney's fees, and then you're going to pay your mortgage off. So from the sale of your home, you subtract all of these fees, and then you get to add a few things. One of the things that you're going to add is if most likely you've been paying your taxes to your town 6 years in advance. So more than likely, once you close, you're going to be getting some money back. And so you add that back in, and at the end of that worksheet, there's going to be $1. Hopefully it's got a plus sign in front, and this is the money that you're going to walk away from after your home sells.
Yeah, so depending on what date the closing falls on, you could potentially get up to 6 months worth of those taxes.
That is right. That's exactly right. So, and that could be pretty substantial, especially the way taxes are around here. But we'll go through all that for you, and then once you know what that money is, you'll know how much that money is. You'll have a better understanding of how you're going to then be able to finance the home that you're going to purchase.
Yep.
Right.
And one of the questions that someone may be asking is, hey, do I have to sell my home before I buy?
Yeah.
This net sheet is really going to help determine your finances and help you figure out, do you have to sell before you buy on the other end? So really the next step is trying to figure out where is it that you're going to move to, and what is the market like there?
Yep.
And so are you planning on downsizing? Are you planning on getting a bigger home for an expanding family? And are you going to be paying more or less for the new home? All of this is important information so that you can plan and figure out your next steps.
Sure. Sure.
And in addition to that, you may be interested in what are the schools like in the area?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of parks are there?
Yep.
Any other things that you can think of?
Well, I mean, who's going to show you around the town, especially if you're moving out of town and you're not super familiar with the area. To have that relationship with a top quality agent or somebody that who knows the town that can show you around, the places of worship, the parks, the shopping, the good places to go to, is really important. And that's something that we are very, very well equipped to do.
Yeah, and if you are moving out of town as well, we actually have a great network of other top agents that we can put you in touch with that can provide excellent service as well.
Yeah. Then once you've got those 2 things, those are the critical things. How much is my house going to sell for? How much money will I have, if any?
Mm-hmm.
And can I? What do the finances then look like for the purchase of my home? Do I have the down payment? Now we start getting your home in order in terms of preparing for the buyer, right? The buyer's going to come in, and if they're interested, they're asking questions like, how much are the utility bills? Right?
How old is the roof?
How old is the roof? Exactly. Do you have any warranties? Is the roof warranted? Are the windows warranted? That sort of thing. So if you have any of that paperwork, new appliance information, how to use the alarm system, all of that, gather and create a nice package for it so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Anybody who's interested, really you pick the package up and you hand it over to them.
Yeah, that's awesome, especially since a lot of buyers ask for that information.
Yeah, no question.
Another thing that you may want to consider doing is having a pre-home inspection done on your home. The reason why I say this is because really you want to go into the transaction with your eyes wide open. And a buyer is definitely going to have an inspection done on your property. And when they have an inspector come in, the inspector is going to pick your property apart. So it's better to know what is going to come up ahead of time, so that really, depending on what an inspector is going to find, you could either address those issues ahead of time,
Yep.
and figure out what estimates would be for major items that a buyer can come across. And that way, you can fix it on your terms as opposed to a buyer's terms. And there's
Sure, and I will tell you this, buyer's terms are always more expensive than your terms, always.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a good point. Okay, then the other thing that you can do is once buyers are coming in the home, what seems to come up a lot, and this is really something that you can address up front, is if you have a pet, right? Let's try to eliminate any traces in the house that you have a pet. And let's face it, not everybody loves pets, right? So, get rid of the odors, get rid of the hair, the
toys.
the toys, and of course, when somebody comes over, pre-think through the arrangement of that. How are you gonna, are you gonna come home every day at lunchtime or whenever there's a showing to take the pet for a walk? Are you gonna contact a neighbor or a friend to come over and maybe cage him up for an hour and then let him out again? But just think through that process so that the pet you never want the pet to come in between you selling your home and moving into your new home.
Yeah, and even if you have a family member in the area, maybe they're willing to take in the pet for the time frame that the home is on the market. So there's definitely a lot of options that we can look into ahead of time. And then another important step is going and getting actual pre-approval for the next home that you are going to purchase. Talking with a mortgage broker and figuring out, okay, how much of a down payment am I going to need? And that's going to be dependent on which type of loan program are you going to move forward with. And there's a couple out there. So you have a VA loan, where if you were a service member, well, first, thank you for your service, and you could purchase with as little as 0% down. It doesn't require a down payment. If not, then the other options include the FHA loan, which you can purchase with 3.5% down. You will be required to pay mortgage insurance through the lifetime of that loan.
Right.
So that's built in there. And then there's also conventional loans. So I know you can purchase a conventional loan with 3% down up to 20% down. And if you put down 20%, then you don't have that mortgage insurance. So that'll drop your payments pretty significantly. And really, it's a discussion of what works best for you. And if you want to have that discussion, give us a call. We're more than willing to take that preliminary step with you and figure out what works best for you in your situation.
Yeah, they make lots of different options for people. And they make these different options because not one option is right for everybody. So depending on what your needs are, what your finances are like, there's one option that's gonna rise above all the others, and we'd be more than happy to have that discussion with you. So, lastly, is to identify your team of people that you're going to be using and relying on in order to get your home sold. Okay? So if you do plan on having that pre-listing inspection, right, you're probably going to need a painter. You're probably going to need an electrician, a plumber, to fix some of these issues that you didn't even know about were issues, but I promise you that the buyer's inspector will find it, right? So you're going to want, who are these people? We've got a very, very nice list of very professional people that we use that we could help you out with. Who is your, an estate sale? So you might have things that you're not going to pay to move, and it just might make more sense just to sell. Some of your belongings, some of your furniture, some of the toys, some of the, and have that.
Yeah.
We work with estate sales. Your home may actually benefit, right, from a professional stager. I mean, don't forget, the cost of a stager is far less expensive than your first price reduction, okay? And we can take a look at your home and tell you without any question whether or not your home would benefit from a stager. And really, that's money in your pocket. We align ourselves with some wonderful, wonderful people. We've been around a long time, and the ones that aren't so wonderful, we don't work with anymore, right? You're going to need to know attorneys, who your broker's going to be. Again, call us. We would love an opportunity to help you through this process, to help you get from selling to sold and into your new home.
Yep.
So I hope that this has been helpful.
Yeah, and again, feel free to give us a call. We're the Brown Eagle team right here at Keller Williams. Our number is 203-268-4994.
Yep. And find us on Facebook, the Brown Eagle team.
Thanks for your time.
Bye.